Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Men accused of killing suspected goat thief in mob attack gets bail. Two men accused of being part of last month's mob killing of an alleged goat thief in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, were offered bail in the sum of $500,000 when each appeared in the Spanish Town Parish Court. Jamar Smith, otherwise called Al, and Russian Freeman, otherwise called Dada, of North Street, Old Harbour, St. Catherine, were offered bail on charges of murder and conspiracy. They were also given reporting conditions. The duo were charged in connection with the mob killing of Jason Davis, otherwise called Toby, and Kevin, a laborer of Paulus Crescent, Old Harbour. Allegations are that they were among men who were seen as an eyewitness Jason beating and chopping Davis to death after he was accused of murder larceny. However, during the bail hearing, their lawyers raised issues of credibility and identification. Attorney-at-law Kemma Robinson, who is representing Freeman, submitted that his client was wrongly accused, while Smith's lawyer Akeem Harris told the judge that his client was present on the day of the incident, but he was never involved in the fatal attack. Smith had given the police a statement in which he indicated that Davis had chop wounds in his head and on his hand, and that he was admitted for 7 days after he was taken to the hospital. Both lawyers also submitted that their clients had cooperated with the police and were not flight risk, noting that they surrendered to the police after hearing that they were suspects. They both complied with the police investigation and denied any involvement in Davis' death, the lawyer stated. The matter will next be mentioned on September 13. Case postponed for man accused in killing of Jamaican Canadian. A man accused of the 2021 murder of a Jamaican-born Canadian citizen has his case postponed on Wednesday in a bid to give him enough time to retain a lawyer. Kimani Alcott, who is from St. James Address, is charged with the murder of 46-year-old Colin Wright of Staten Drive, Canada. He is also facing charges for injuring another man. According to allegations, shortly after 7 p.m. on the day in question, Wright was sitting in the yard with his cousin who operates a shop. Two men posing as customers ordered cigarettes and rum, but were informed that there was none available. They left but later returned. One of the men brandished a handgun and opened fire, hitting Wright multiple times before fleeing the scene. The other man in Wright's company was also injured in the attack. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, Wright was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. When the case was heard in the St. James Parish Court on Monday, the court was told that certain documents, including the post-mortem report and the scene of crime statement, were missing from the prosecution's case file. The court was also informed that Alcott was pointed out as one of the two individuals who shot Wright. Prime Minister confirms Jamaicans ready to send soldiers to Haiti. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has confirmed that Jamaica is prepared to send soldiers to Haiti as part of a multinational peacemaking force. Addressing a media briefing at the office of the Prime Minister on Thursday morning, Holness said Jamaica has always made it clear that it is ready to play its part in restoring peace and stability in the violence-plagued country. We said that when we spoke in Parliament. We have said it before, and yes, we are the first to say so, declared Holness. In fact, you could say that Jamaica's statement would have started an interest in the situation there, stated Holness. The African nation of Kenya has already offered to send 1,000 police officers to Haiti and led a multinational effort to support the Haitian police. In addition, the United States has indicated that although it does not want to lead a force, it will support this move. The U.S. has written a resolution that has been before the United Nations Security Council now for about 9 months, calling for a multinational force to be deployed at that country. This came after the Haitian government requested international help and a specialized force to enter the country to help the Haitian National Police. Haiti is in the grips of a raging hunger crisis where nearly 5 billion Haitians, half of the country, do not get enough to eat daily. Appeal courts quashed the sentence of man who served almost entire time waiting for appeal to be heard. Human rights lobby groups Jamaicans for Justice and Stand Up for Jamaica have welcomed the decision of the Court of Appeal to squash the conviction and sentence of Brian Russell. The court's decision was handed down on Monday, July 31, and the written decision will be issued at a later date. Russell had argued that the trial judge made errors in admitting and relying inadmissible evidence and in her legal summation and identification evidence. He also argued that his fundamental rights under the Constitution were violated due to the inordinate delay in the hearing of his appeal. As part of the collaborative project involving Stand Up for Jamaica, Jamaicans for Justice and the Public Laws Chambers, which includes Terence Williams, efforts are being made to assist appellants whose appeals have suffered prolonged delays. Mr. Williams said Russell was sentenced in 2015 to serve 11 years imprisonment upon conviction for firearm and robbery offenses. It took 8 years for Russell's appeal to be heard. Mr. Williams said the judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal has underscored the importance of justice reform in ensuring that a person's constitutional rights to an appeal is upheld.
Mr. Russell was one of a group of appellants that were referred to us by Stand Up Jamaica and Jamaica for Justice, who have been waiting a long time for the appeals to be heard. He, in fact, waited over 8 years between his trial finishing and his appeal being heard. We applied for a hearing of the appeal, expedited hearing, and the appeal was heard, and we were successful we raised grounds as regards the judge's summation and the judge relying on inadmissible evidence. And so the judge ruled that his appeal was allowed, the court ruled that, and so he has now been released. But the point is he served 8 years of a sentence that has now been quashed. He served almost the entire sentence. Well, these cases continue to highlight the problem appellants have in having their appeals heard promptly. When a man is successful in his appeal, the victory is almost a Pyrrhic victory when it turns out that he has served almost all the time or a significant period of time awaiting his appeal to be heard. So there needs to be some reform of how appeals are heard in Jamaica, because it's not the only case. We have had, if you follow many other cases like this one, the man served almost all the sentence, which is very poor. So we need to get transcripts earlier. There needs to be legal aid for appellants on their appeal, and there need to be other measures to ensure that appeals can be heard promptly.
PNP says PSOJ's call for Golding to apologize for Buchanan's statement hypocritical. The People's National Party PNP says its president Mark Golding will not apologize for the statements made by Attorney Atullah Asset Buchanan in relation to the Director of Public Prosecutions. Mr. Buchanan, who was the chair of the party's Human Rights Committee, resigned from the post and apologized for his comments. However, the private sector organization of Jamaica has called for Mr. Golding to also apologize. In a release, the PNP said it carefully reviewed the call made by the PSOJ. The PNP said while it appreciates and shares the PSOJ's concern about maintaining respect and civility within the society, it disagrees with the call for a personal apology from the party president and is disheartened by the glaring bias evident in the PSOJ statement. Speaking with reporters, PNP chairwoman Dr. Angela Bromberg said there is no need for the party president to apologize, as he already spoke with Mr. Buchanan about the comments made, after which Buchanan resigned as Human Rights Committee chair. Dr. Bromberg said while the PNP appreciates the PSOJ's concern about the civility and decorum in public discourse, it also expects that such calls for accountability be applied equally across all political parties and their members. She said it's important to Jamaica that the private sector organization of Jamaica remains impartial and consistent in holding all leaders and organizations accountable for their actions and statements.
Mr. Golding spoke with Mr. Buchanan on the very night the comments were made. And in fact, Mr. Buchanan promptly resigned and issued a statement, withdrawing and apologizing for the comments that he made. The women's movement subsequent to that also issued a statement, again reiterating and confirming our unwavering commitment to respect for women and gender equity. And therefore, we find it quite puzzling that a call for personal apology would have been asked for by Mr. Seaga. In fact, when we look at it, the reason why we talk about it being hypocritical really is that we don't hear that similar call right across the board. You know, there are so many instances when we did not hear the voice of the PSOJ in terms of that. You know, time and time again, we hear Mr. Everett Warmington being crass and rude, whether it is to the media, to women. We have not heard the PSOJ asking the Prime Minister for a personal apology from Mr. Warmington. We would have seen a video parading where it is alleged that it's one of our own members in the parliament beating a woman with a stool. I didn't hear the call for the prime minister to offer an apology. And so we believe it is important for an organization like the PSOJ to maintain its impartiality. I believe that the country is depending on PSOJ whenever they see something that is amiss or see either party or any of the parties going afoul of the law or what we believe to be decent, to call it out. But the way in which we have seen this, it is hypocritical.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell